What's going on, BP family? Welcome to another Beyond Prosperous video. I'm so excited that you guys are here. Listen, today we are talking about the 6 types of working genius. I asked myself this question a couple of days ago, like, how can I help people get started? How can I help people get started? And I realized that when we are trying to start something, the best place to start is to have a great foundation. And so I believe that this is just a piece of being able to build the life that you want, build the success that you want, build the business and the family and so forth and so on that you want. Is when you understand yourself. When you actually are able to figure out, like, what are things that make you tick, something that helps you identify the things that you're good at and the things that you struggle at. And so through this, we're going to talk about 6 different types of genius, and we're going to break them down just a little bit at a time and make sure and really identify those things that you may identify with as your genius and that the things that you struggle with. All right. So again, the biggest point, the biggest takeaway from this is to understand what works for you and what will help you thrive at the things that you're doing. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. The first thing that I want to do is talk about the 3 different sections that he framed these geniuses in. And so for each person, we have our working genius. All right, so the working genius. And this is basically the genius that you are good at and you enjoy. So these are things this is the genius that you are good at, but it also brings you joy. So it brings you joy when you're doing this activity in this genius, all right? So the next one is working competency. All right, so these are things that basically that you're capable of and you don't mind doing. All right, so these are things that you could be really good at and you don't mind doing, but it's not something that fills you up. It's not something that gives you energy. All right, so this is something that you're capable of and we'll just say can do. All right, now the last one, so this is 1 and then this is 2. So these are 2 different categories, and in each one there will be 2 different geniuses. So in the first one, in the working genius, he said that there is 2 for each one. So every person have 2 working geniuses, every person have 2 working competencies, and every person have number 3, 2 working frustrations. Now, I believe that when you are able to identify what that working frustration is, it's not saying that you will never have to do it, but it's best said that when you understand that what your frustrations are, to try to customize your life to where you're able to stay away from these frustrations, or you have somebody in your life that can help you in this area. All right, so basically a working frustration is something that you're not naturally gifted at. So not naturally gifted at, but also it drains your energy and your joy. All right, so your peace, your happiness, your energy, this working frustration, it drains you a little bit at a time. And so if you are working in this working frustration for too long, you don't even have the energy and the enthusiasm to do the things that you would love to do. And you may find yourself doing this as you're building your business or building your fan base or whatever you're doing as you're creating your content. If you spend too much time working on your working frustration, then you may not even have the energy to do the things that you have a working genius at. And so today we just want to identify what those things are. And help you position yourself to work at your highest peak potential. All right. So now, again, this is the 3 sections where you'll be able to say these 2 geniuses go into this section, these 2 geniuses go into this section, and these 2 geniuses go into this section. So he framed those up like that. But there is also another frame, and the first one is ideation. All right, so the first 2 geniuses are ideation, because these 6 geniuses, they work in a flow. It's almost like a full team, like a basketball team. It works in a flow where from beginning to end, these are the different steps that creation kind of goes through. All right, so the first one is wonder. So the first genius is wonder. So with the genius of wonder, they have this, they're consistently pondering ideas to change and improve different projects, different areas, different, whatever they see, they are wondering, how can we improve this thing to make it better? Or how can we innovate something that's brand new? Basically, they are thinking of different concepts, different ways in order to bring something new to the world. And so everything around us, everything that you see first started as a wonder. And so with the wonder, just for your notes, it's constantly pondering ideas. All right, so a lot of times this can get a bad rep, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So they are unsatisfied with untapped potential. And so basically, again, like I said, they're constantly looking on how to improve something, or better yet, how to create something that there's a problem in the world, and they want to create something that's absolutely brand new, and they figure out a way to do that. So that is, they're wondering, they're trying to see, how can we make this better? All right. And then the last note on that one is that few people recognize this genius for what it is, because it is what happens before there is any observable result. And so again, this wonder, sometimes it can be looked at as daydreaming. And again, if you are constructively daydreaming, if you are actually pondering an idea for something that will add value to other people, that is where you can make your money. Because if you have this genius, now you're able to create, and you're able to think up solutions to problems that people have, and you are in that beginning session. This does not mean that you are the CEO of the business, but you can be a part of a team where when problems come up, you are the person that's pondering different solutions, or you are the one that's identifying the solution or the problem in the first place so that it could be solved by the team. All right, so let's talk about number 2. So the number two genius is invention. All right. So invention, they thrive on creativity. And so this is the most identified genius because it goes hand in hand with discovery and innovation. And so like they said, this is the most identified genius because the people that are actually they're inventing things. So they're inventing the phone, they're inventing the laptops, so forth and so on. These are the people that that are noticed as geniuses simply because they are the ones that's crafting and they're creating these different things. And so they're putting what somebody had a wonder about, somebody identified a problem and they had a wonder. And this could be the same person, but if there's a team, maybe somebody have the genius of wonder and maybe somebody have the genius of invention, where they take what the problem is and they put all of these different pieces together in order to form or create a solution. So it says that they create solutions to the problems they find or the problems that are identified by others. And so again, with this person that has the genius of wonder, they can be identifying problems or different things that can be improved. And the person that have the genius of invention, they're actually crafting. They're crafting whatever that thing is. And so they thrive on creativity. All right, so you can possibly have this genius of wonder or this genius of invention. Both of these are in the ideation, ideation section of this entire process. So let's go ahead and go to number 3. And also just really quick, as I'm talking through these, understand that if you actually take the assessment, you will be able to get a full breakdown of each one of these. I just want to touch on them so that you may be able to identify yourself in one of these, and you're able to use that as a superpower to be able to conquer and do those things that you're trying to do. And if there is something that you see is a working frustration, you're able to put somebody else in that position to help you with that. And again, it could be family. Like for me, my wife is my other half, being able to support me and to give me that confidence to push through. All right, and we'll talk about those in a second. So number 3 is, yes, discernment. So the third genius is the genius of discernment, and it's going to have its own section with number 4. All right, so the genius of discernment. So this is somebody that's instinctive, intuitive judge. They have intuitive judgment and an evaluation of ideas and options. And so basically when people are bringing things to them, they are able to analyze it and give you and say that I think that this would produce the best result. And the way that these people think, and I know this because this is my superpower. This was my top superpower, the gift of discernment. We think in patterns. And so we see that these things have happened in the past. And if you continue to do the same thing that these people have done, then you'll get the result that they got. Now, while that may seem like it makes sense to everybody, it's a little bit deeper, but also that's not something that everybody understand. Now, a lot of us, we do understand that if you keep on doing the same thing, you'll get the same result. But there is so many different things that I don't have to actually go through to actually understand how it's going to end. All right. And I'm not saying that we are 100% on every single thing that we say will happen, but we are constantly, and this is the second point, we are constantly seeking truth. And that is the principle that this genius stands on, is to constantly seek truth. So discernment, we are trying to figure out exactly what is the foundation of this thing. And if this is the foundation, how high can it go? What is the limit that it can go to? All right. So we are the kind of people that if you bring us an option, if you bring us a couple of options, we're going to try our best to choose the one that seems to make the most sense and to produce and yield the best outcome. All right. So the last point I have on this is that this is a sought out genius that many desire to have. And many desire to have this genius is because nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody wants to put a lot of effort into a thing for it to not work. And so a lot of times these are your coaches, these are your mentors, people that have probably already blazed the trail, or that they've already went through the things that you are possibly going to go through, but they are on the other side of that thing to give you advice, to show you like, hey, this might be the best way to do a thing. And so with the genius of discernment, your notes for this one is basically, it's the pursuit of truth. And that goes with the pursuit of truth. And that goes with being able to see different patterns and being able to see what is right and what is wrong, what's going to happen, what may not happen. And so to yield the best results. So that is what this genius will help you do. All right. And if you identify as that, if you see yourself as the person that typically choose the right thing to do, then you may have this genius of discernment. All right. So next is the genius of galvanizing. Galvanizing. Cool. And so that is in this section of activation. Right? So this genius of galvanizing, it brings energy and momentum and movement to an idea, a project, or a function. And so basically somebody have this idea in wonder. Now we're starting to create it and put all the pieces together with invention. And then we send it to somebody to say that thing looked like it's going to work. All right. So now this galvanizing, the genius of galvanizing is like, oh, really? So you think that, all right, so this is making sense to me. Let's get it together. Let's get everybody together and let's go. So the genius of galvanizing, they naturally rather rally others to get involved through inspiration, through enthusiasm, and an initial call to action. And so this is the person that's like, hey, let's go. Like, we got this, we can do this, so forth and so on. And you need this kind of person on your team. Why? Because this person, they're going to bring the energy to the room. They're going to bring that enthusiasm to the room. They're going to say, hey, this is what we have to do. Let's go and do it. And so they are the person that rally everybody together and get everybody on the same page to get them going. Obviously, this is another one of my geniuses, and my wife actually had to convince me that this was one of my geniuses. But typically, it's really hard to deny having this gift because of how public it is. And so people can automatically call out, like, if you have this gift. And so if you have it, you have it. If you don't, then you probably know, like, nah, I'm not the kind of person that try to get everybody together and get everybody going. And so having this genius is super impactful. Why? Because when you get behind something, when you get it and you understand it, now you're able to get other people involved. And especially if this is something good for you and good for your team and good for your business, now you're able to get people on board, and even your audience and your clients and your customers, you're able to get people on board with the vision that's coming forth. All right. So galvanizing. So this is naturally rally others together. Rally others together. All right, so now I'm gonna take this down so I can put 5 and 6 over here. Cool. So again, I want to make sure that this makes sense to you. This is like an operation of creation. So this is how it's going right here. This is the beginning, the idea, the program, and then we're going back over here. And now we're going to 5 and 6, right? So we got 5 and we got 6. So 5 is enablement. The genius of enablement. All right. So 5 is the genius of enablement. Many times in our culture today, when we think of this genius when we think of enabling someone, we think of basically being okay with their dysfunction and supporting them in their dysfunction. When in reality, ultimately, what enablement means is to offer their enthusiastic support to a person who needs assistance, right? Okay, so taking it out of the context of helping someone or being okay or continuing to do the same thing when you see somebody going down the wrong path. Enablement is actually, like, the genius of enablement is to enthusiastically support somebody that needs assistance. All right. And so I'll let you know what this last section is, and it's going to make sense. All right. So enablement, again, they love when the system and project is already underway and they get to join in. They're not focused on doing it their own way. So this is the kind of person that you like, listen, you tell me what to do and I will do it. We're gonna get it done. Like, I'm the person that you, when you tell me what to do, like, we can go, I will support you, I will encourage you, be enthusiastic about doing whatever we gotta do. But this is the person that helps you get things done. And so you need somebody like this on your team, because this is, again, they're not gonna ask no questions. They like, listen, if you tell me to do it and it's already in the work, let's go and do it. That's it. Like, let's stop talking about it. Let's go. All right. So lastly, again, this genius is crucial to the success of any enduring endeavor. And the reason that I say that is because some things take time. Some things take time to build. Some things take time to process. Some things, it just takes time to create. And so having somebody that have the genius of enablement is to have somebody there that's constantly supporting you, constantly being enthusiastic, saying that we can do this. Let's keep grinding it out. Let's keep going. And so you may have somebody like that in your life. And if you do, that is somebody to take advantage of, to say, hey, listen, I'm on this journey of trying to do something. Will you be my person that I can go to, that I can count on to say, hey, like, to support me, to encourage me, to uplift me? And so when I think of enablement, they love when a system or project is already underway and they can join right in. and they're not focused on doing it their own way, but ultimately they offer their enthusiastic support to a person who needs assistance. So I'll just say, to keep it short, they support person who need them. Well, you can write it. So they support the person. All right. So just because of the limited space right here, but they support the person that needs assistance. All right. And number 6, finally, is tenacity. What in the world? Okay. Yeah. I was like, that didn't look right. So tenacity. Cool. So this is genius number 6, tenacity. And like I said, it flows from the beginning to the end, the enablement and tenacity. This is implementation. This is the implementation portion. So this is implementation. These are the people that's going to make sure we get it done and we follow through to the end. So tenacity. So this is somebody that's focused on execution and achieving the desired result. So they are focused. And so basically the drive to completion, impact, and accomplishment is a natural gift. Like it's natural and a real gift. And so many people, they look at tenacity as just having this crazy discipline that can be taught. While discipline can be taught, the tenacity, the genius of tenacity is something that you have throughout your life. You are naturally gifted at finishing the things that you start. Now, if you have this, sometimes you may not have this gift of wonder. So if you have tenacity and you're trying to finish things, you may not have this genius of wonder where you are pondering and you're thinking. You're more so like, what can I get done? What can I go and do and finish it? All right. So the last note that I have on here is that those without this gift feel like they are missing a key piece in order for them to achieve success, while others see it as a simple discipline and worth ethic. And so basically what I mean by that is that people with tenacity, sometimes they don't consider that a genius. They consider it as, oh yeah, I'm just disciplined. I just got, good work ethics. Listen, this is a genius. If you have the ability to finish and get other people to finish and follow through, that is something that's needed and necessary on every single team, in every single project, in every single endeavor. Why? Because so many people in this world, they start with the wonder, they get the invention and they get going and they realize it's a good idea and they get people on board and they get people supporting them. But if they don't have somebody with that tenacity to help them finish and say, we have to finish this. This is the deadline. Let's finish it by this day. Then things don't get done in the way that it needs to get done. And so this genius, they're focused on execution. They're focused on execution. And so these are the 6 types of genius. Like I said, the 6 types of genius by Patrick Lencioni. So Patrick Lencioni, he's the one that created this model and this concept. And so in the description, if the book has not come out yet, then I'll have a link to be able to pre-order it and also to take the assessment, which is $25. Now, if they give me an affiliate link, which ultimately they probably will because I joined the launch team, I'm going to put that in the description. And so whenever you do take the assessment or whenever you do pre-order the book, I may get some kind of compensation for that. But other than that, listen, I want you to be able to take this and position yourself to work to the best of your ability and make sure that you are taking every opportunity that's put in front of you by working in your working genius. And so again, just to make this super clear, like your working genius, so just again, like I said, to make this super clear, your working genius, it could be 1 and 5. It could be, I don't know, I was about to write a 7, but it could be 5 and 3. It could be a combination of different things. While your working competence, it could be, again, a 3 and a 2. Like it could be any of them. So basically what I'm trying to let you know, that it doesn't have to be like your working genius is only ideation. No, these are the different sections that those two geniuses work in. And so basically make sure that as you have listened to this presentation today, and also as you continue to read and learn about these different geniuses, position yourself in the best position to work and to grind and to get those things that you need done. Surround yourself with people that will thrive in all of these different areas, and you will see things change for your life for the better. And so thank you again for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave me some comments. Let me know which one of these geniuses or which two of these do you believe is your working genius? Let me know in the comments below. Also, ask me any questions, put any questions in the comments that you may have. And until the next video, I will see you then.